This video has been made possible by Rebus Farm, the professional render service. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Well, today we're going to do a follow-up on a video that I did a while back. I did a video on how to texture a hand grenade, and back then I received questions from subscribers asking me, can you demonstrate how to model that thing? Okay, so this is going to be a first video in a series of 3. In part 1 we're going to do the modeling, in part 2 we're going to UV the hand grenade, and in part 3 we're going to texture it. Okay, so let's get started. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go. Let's start by loading up a reference image. So we're going to go to our to our front view, go to view, image plane, and import image. And then we're going to go to my desktop and get the picture of our grenade. Okay, so this is the same image that I used for the video in August where I show you guys how to texture a grenade in 3D Coat. In this video we're going to model this grenade, and we're going to UV it, and we're going to texture it in Substance Painter. Okay, so let's start with our model. Now if we look at the sections here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main body sections here, and then we've got that stretch going upwards. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our polygon menu. We're going to take a polygon sphere, we're going to hit W, pull that out. Now I'm going to take half of that, so if we want 5, then the total sphere has to be 10 subdivisions. So I'm going to hit Control A to pull up my attribute editor, and let's go to 10 by 10. There we go. And then we're going to go in our front view, right click and go to face, and just select half of our circle and get rid of it. Okay, then we're going to go object mode, we're going to hit R to scale it up slightly, and then we're going to start to stretch it down until we're roughly at where we need to be. And then we're going to hit W to raise that up. We want the top to be level with that section there. Hit R to stretch that a bit more. And that's going to be our basic shape for now. Okay, we're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode, or better yet, hit 5 and turn on our X-ray mode here. And let's check out a number of sections that we have and see if that will work for us. Okay, and maybe we need to add some. All right, so we're going to look at this bottom section first here. We got, let's do the edges. We're going to double click on this edge. We're going to hit W, and we're going to raise it up to about here. And don't mind the diameter here, that's fine. Once you got the right height, we can hit R and we can just scale that out to where we want to be. And we'll add one down there later. Okay. Then let's double click on this one, hit W, pull it up to about here, and again scale that out, repeat that process, hit W, pull it up to about here. And it's kind of a distorted image because it's at a slight angle as it's curved, so don't worry about that too much. Try to eyeball it, and I'm kind of following this line on this end here. So we'll click that one, hit W once again, raise that up slightly, and hit R and scale that out. And then let's see, this guy, we'll do this one up a bit. Let's just clean that up a little bit. Okay, and like I said, most of it is kind of eyeballing it, so we're going to go about halfway this cross section here. That one will come up a little bit. All right, and then we're going to need to add one down here, so we're going to go to Insert Edgeloop, option box, single setting, and we'll add one. Come on, we'll add one down there. It doesn't want to play ball, so what we can do is go to our modeling toolkit and take our multi-cut, and then we'll just do it like this and hit Q on our keyboard. Okay, so we can double click on this guy, we can hit R, and we can pull that out. Okay, and as always, it's a reference. Okay, cool. So once we got that, excuse me, we're gonna have a look and see if this kind of works for our purposes, and it seems to be okay. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna double click on that top edge, and we're gonna hit Control E to extrude it, and then we're gonna hit W to pull that up just slightly. We're gonna switch back to this view, and from here on in we're gonna hit R to scale that in till we kind of get a pretty steep angle here, and maybe even push it down like so. And then we're going to G to repeat last command, W to pull up, and pull it up to about here. And again, hit R and scale that in. Now, like I said, our entire object is kind of eyeballed based on our image, but this is what we have so far. All right, looks okay. Alrighty, so what we need to do here is we need to right click and go to face, and we're going to start by selecting these faces, so not the bottom one, all the way up to here, like so, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to do that all the way around, and then we're going to extrude them. So I'm going to go in here, right click on the face, drag select everything, with the exception of that little piece down there, okay? And then we're going to hit Control E to extrude. And what's very important is we need to set keep faces together off. Just by pulling on that, okay? We're going to tweak the thickness like so, and you see that we're getting some issues here. Let's do 0.1 to begin with and have a look. And the issue that we have here is that the top faces need to stay together, which means that we have to go to Control Z to go back. Just go back, and what we're going to do is you're going to do that in 2 steps. Okay, so I'm going to go in, and we're going to right click on a face, drag select these faces first, like so. Okay, hit Control E again, keep face together off. Come on, yep. We're going to start to tweak the thickness. Let's do 0.2 maybe. Let's have a look, like so, yeah. And then we're going to tweak the offset. And let's see, 0.3, nope. 0.1, that's better. 0.1 looks a bit better. And because of the angle, we need to tweak these here, but that's okay. Maybe 0.15. Just looking at my image here. And maybe even less than that. We'll just do 0.1. That looks okay, all right? So that's not bad. The only ones we need to deal with a little is the ones down here. That's a bit much, I think. So we're just gonna take these faces. Yep, not that one. That's all right. Just those faces. Hit 4 for wireframe mode so we can check it. Excuse me. We're going to hit R to scale them in. So let's scale that back in a bit. And then as a result, we'll need to hit W and push that up. And let's see what our best angle is to have a look at that. Okay, so let's bring them up a little bit, hit R and scale them out. Just hit W. Yeah, looks okay to me. All right, cool. So now that we have that, we need to deal with the faces up top there. Okay, so that's this going all the way around, right? So we're going to go in, we're going to right click on a face, we're going to drag select those, okay, and we're going to hit Control E. We are going to keep face together, set that off, and hang on guys, now I know what the problem was. Go back. We just want the vertical ones, so we just want these faces. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so Control E to extrude, keep face together off, and let's do 0.1 to start with. Have a look. It's not too bad. Let's tweak the offset a little bit as before. Let's do 0.1 maybe. Compare it to our model here. That's a bit much. 0.05, 0.02 maybe even. No, 0.03. It's trial and error, so just and the original model that I was talking about, it's a while since I did that. 0.04. Okay, we'll do that. Right. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to right click, go to object mode. We're going to drag select, edges, sorry. Drag select those. Excuse me. Sorry guys, got a bit of a cough going on. So we're going to go to mesh display and we're going to go to harden edge. There we go. And then we're going to go to object mode and hit 3 to preview smooth and see what we get. Okay, so that's not an option at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it like this, and then what we're going to do is we are going to tweak that as we texture our model. Okay, now I want this angle to come down a bit, so I'm going to go to edge and take these edges here, like so. We're going to hit R, we're going to scale them in a little bit, like so. Looks okay to me. And then we're going to go to face and we're going to take these faces and we're going to hit Control E to extrude. Keep face together off once again. We'll tweak the thickness. Let's do 0.03, maybe a bit more. 0.05, which is better. Yeah, a little bit better. Tweak the offset as before. So let's do 0.01. Let's see. That's better. 0.8 maybe. Nope. Again, trial and error. That's better. Yeah, looks okay. And then what we'll do is we'll right click at the edge. And like I said, we're not following our example exactly. This is what is called a pineapple shaped grenade. And we're just taking a little bit of creative liberty here. Okay, so hit W to push them down and hit R to slightly pull them out. Okay, I like the way this is looking. Okay, then for our bottom here, what we're going to do is we are going to right click on a face. I'm going to take these faces, hit 4 so I can see that I'm not getting anything else, hit 5. We're going to hit Control Delete to get rid of that, and then we're going to go to Mesh and Fill Hole, which will create a nice end-gun for us, what we don't want obviously. So we're going to select that face, we're going to go to Mesh and Clean Up, hit Clean Up, and it will be turned into triangles, okay, which is okay. So that's that part. Then we've got this little ring going on up here. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take a polygon pipe, hit W to pull that up, and let's center our model for a minute. We're just going to take this in, come on, object mode, come on, there we go. Move that. We're going to take our grenade, we're going to go up to our top view, hit W to move it, and hold down X as you do, so it will snap. And once that's done, we can take this guy, and let's see, we'll hit R to scale that in until we have a nice thin ring. Hit W to bring that down. I'll turn off my X-ray here so we can see what's going on. And again, we need to kind of eyeball this, so somewhere around there. Let's hit R to scale that in. That looks to be the right diameter, and then pull it up to give it some more thickness, and hit W to raise it up just a little bit. Now we're going to need to bevel those edges, so hit F to zoom in. All right, we're going to right click at an edge, double click on that one, and shift to double click on that one, edit mesh and bevel. Oh, that's not good. Hit Control Z. We're gonna reset that first. Let's go. Option box. Reset settings. Bevel. That's much better. And then our fraction should be, let's see, 0.1. Let's try that. Okay, and then we're going to go to object mode. 3 to preview smooth. Looks perfect. So we're going to go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth it instead of preview. Okay, so that's our ring. Cool. Excuse me. Then we got the main body here, which is semi-round at this end, and then it's straight at the other end, straight-ish. So that's the most tricky part of our model. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to start with a polygon cylinder. We're going to pull that up and position that on top. I'll turn back on my X-ray thingy. All right. We're going to hit R, we're going to scale that in, W to move that down, and that looks about right. This extension here, we'll have to do that manually as well as that part there. So we're going to right click on the vertex, drag select these top vertices, and simply bring them down to about there. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to extend that model out to here. And for that, what we'll do is we'll go to our top view. We're going to right click on a face. We're going to drag select this half, hit delete. Okay. And then we're going to go in, right click on the edge. And we've got that entire edge selected. Hit W to move that out, like so. And once we're at this end right here, we're going to right click and go to vertex, drag select that top vertice and bring that in until we are at the angle as in our example. Okay, like so. Excuse me. Then we're going to go in, we're going to right click on edge. And with that edge selected, we're going to go to mesh, no, not mesh, to, hang on, where'd he go, where'd he go, where'd he go? I'm always looking for that thing. Oh, there it is, yeah, and fill hole, okay? All right, now that's not the cleanest object ever, so we're going to have to deal with that as well. But first we need to look at whether we need to bring that in a little bit or not. And it seems that we do, just slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, we're going to go to vertex, and we're going to take these two vertices and we're going to hit R and we're going to start to move that in kind of towards something like this. All right, and that will help us to develop the rest of our model. All right, now before we continue, like I said, we got these extensions going on, so I'm going to go into this view and that top needs to be erased, but we'll deal with that in a sec. We're going to go to Insert Edgeloop, option box, single setting. I'll turn off my X-ray for a second so you can see it better. And we're going to select this guy and let's add that right about there, like so. Hit Q on a keyboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend a section of it. So we're going to right click on a face, select this face and go around and double click, not there. Just want to have that front row here, like so. We're going to Control E to extrude, and then let's tweak that thickness. Looks like I got a little bit too much selected. Hang on. For wireframe mode, you can see that there's this face here. So hit 5 again. Let's do 0.2. Still got something selected. Looks like. That looks odd. Let's just try that and see what happens. Okay, some kind of glitch or something, I don't know. So just gonna hit W, pull that out. I'll hit 5 for shaded mode so you can see it better. That should be enough for our model. Okay, we'll check it from this view. just about there. And while we're at it, I'm going to take this thing, hit R, give it a bit more thickness, just to close the gap here. Okay, so that looks all right. And then we have the top section here that needs to come up. So we're going to go to face, and we're going to take this guy here. And let's see, the cleanest way to do this is to right click at a face. I'm just gonna get rid of these faces here. Hit Control Delete. Now we have our edge selected, so we're gonna hit Control E to extrude, W to pull up. Let's have a look from this end. And it seems to go up to about here, and it looks like it's at an angle, but we're not going to go there. We're just going to follow this line up here. So it's the perfect height to extrude this. And then here we're going to right click and go to vertex, drag select that vertex, and follow the line that we had before. But in this case, we're going to bring it in even further. Excuse me. And even bring it down maybe a little bit. That's going to be completely covered in this guy, so we're not going to see it. And now we can extend that front end here, okay? And what we'll do is we'll go in, we'll right click, go to face, and we'll take these faces here, like so. Control E to extrude, W to pull out. And let's pull that out to about there. There we go. Let's clean up the top here. Now we don't really need faces up here because you see that it's completely covered with whatever we're going to create on top here. And just to avoid unnecessary poly count, we're just going to take them and hit Control Delete to get rid of that. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. And that is okay, yep. And we will want to probably smooth this out. So I'm going to go to insert Edgeloop, and we're still at single setting, we should be. So let's do one up here, one here. Let's do one in there and one in there. And this is by no means going to be a low poly model, but you probably figured that out by now. And if you want it to be, then you know, you have to kind of figure out to what limit you can take away edges where it still looks the way it should. Try to avoid that one, okay? Hit Q on the keyboard, right click object mode, and hit 3 to have a look. That looks all right. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, we got our, that thing on top there, which is kind of a tricky thing to do. And I'm just wondering what the best way is. So what I'm going to go for here is with a curve. So let's set that up. Hang on. Okay, guys, we're going to switch views. We're going to jump to this view right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to Create and Curve Tool and see Curve Tool. And we're going to start here. And we're going to start to click our way around. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I'm just following this down here. Just keep on going. And then it's kind of bending. And we're going to hit enter. Okay, let's have a look and see what we got. So we have our curve right there, and it seems to be okay. Cool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a polygon cube, we're going to W, we're going to pull that up and move it over here. We're going to move in, we're going to right click on the face, and we're going to delete a few faces here. So we just keep this guy, and we're going to align that. Let's go to modify and center pivot. We're going to align that with our curve that we just created. So we're going to bring that in. We're going to hit R. We're going to push this in to make it nice and thin, like so. Then we're going to have a look at this view, and we want to have it underneath our curve. So hit W. It's very hard to see, but just place it underneath where your curve is starting. And let's see if I can make that more visible. Just gonna hit Control H on my background image. So here's my curve, and there's my object. So I'm gonna bring that up. F to zoom in. I'm gonna hit E to rotate it, and I want it to be pretty much at a 90-degree angle with this guy, like so. Have to zoom in, and then we need to think about the thickness. Okay, so is it too thick or not thick enough or whatever? So I'm just gonna hit R and kind of bring that down a bit. I think that looks okay. And then from this view, I'm gonna hit F to zoom in for wireframe mode, and here you can see the width. So let's kind of pull that out to about there. All right. So now that we have well guys, oddly enough, I didn't do anything wrong. I retried this and it just works, so I don't really understand what happened. Hopefully you guys don't hit that problem. But just to recap, we got our face as we set this up. I'm going to right click on a face, select that face, shift select that curve right there, and we're just going to hit Control E to extrude. It starts out like this, but as we increase the number of subdivisions, you can see that it's starting to wrap around our model as it should. And we'll just eyeball how much we want. And we got liberty to do it nice and smooth. So let's do, ooh, that's a bit much. Let's do, I don't know, 75, maybe even less, 50. Okay, we'll go with 40. All right, cool. So that's our rough shape at 40, that's okay. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click on object mode. We're gonna go to edit and delete by type and history. So we can now go into Windows and Outliner, get that curve and delete it without deleting our model, okay? So now that we have that, a couple of things that we need to deal with. We need to expand this down at some point. So we need to tweak that, but most importantly, this handle thing is way too wide. So we're gonna need to have to tweak that, okay? So let's see, the best way probably would be to narrow it and then increase the width as we move up. So I'm just gonna hit R to pull that in. And keep that nice and thin down there. Actually, let's see. Just gonna see what's quicker. Okay, what we'll do is we'll turn this stuff off here so we can see what we're doing. We'll open multiple windows. So let's see, yeah, we'll do it like this. And like this. I guess I'm gonna have to do this manually. It is what it is. Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna right click on our vertex, and I'm just gonna drag select these guys, push that in to where I want it to start. I kind of repeat that process, and I'm probably missing a way to do this much easier, but I'm quite confident that you guys will tell me how to do that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take vertex by vertex, bring it in and manually shape this whole bracket deal, and then I'll be back with you guys, so you guys have to stick around and wait for me to do that. Okay, hang on. Okay guys, well this is the basic shape that I created. I didn't want to go too far so you guys would miss out on too much because there are a few more steps we need to do on this. One of them being that I want to pull this shape in somewhat. So what we're going to do there is we are going to go to insert edge loop. Let's add an edge loop just around there. Hang on. Yeah, looks okay. Come on guys. Okay guys, I modeled this handle here as you can see, and we're just going to tweak that a little bit. And there are a few more steps we need to do, but I thought I'd do that together with you guys. So first we're going to take this guy, we're going to right click on a vertex. We're going to select these vertices here. So right click vertex, and like so. Come on. Vertex, like, got something going on here guys, hang on. Q on my keyboard, there we go. Alright, so I got those, all of those selected, and what we're going to do is hit B for soft select. Hold B and left click and drag to bring down the affected area and kind of play with that setting until you're happy. We're going to hit R and we're going to start to move that in a little bit. So we're going to get more in line with the shape of that clip, like so. Alright, just makes it look better. Okay, cool. So now we have that. What we're going to do next is we're going to select this guy. Make sure that our soft select is turned off. So let's see. Yeah, now it's off. Just hit B again. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to go to insert edge loop once again, and we'll go to multiple and we'll do 2, and we'll add them right there. Hit Q on the keyboard, and then we're going to hit R to flare them out to the sides and get pretty close to the sides there. Okay, a couple of reasons for doing this. First of all, it's going to hold the shape of this clip here. It looks like we need to tweak the guy at the end. Let's just go to edge, double click the entire edge. The entire edge, come on. Okay, it doesn't want to play ball. Hang on. Let's go to vertex, drag these vertices, and bring that in like so. Alright, cool. So we're going to go up here and we're going to look at this area that we just created that we can pull down, this facer up here. Okay, this. Now we need to figure out how far we need to go with that. So we're going to go to display and show all to get our reference image back. Let's hit 4 for wireframe mode. So we can kind of see if we mark this and go to right click on face. It starts around here and then it comes down to around here, like that. And then we got a section going down here. Okay, so we just use that as a marker for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this guy and double click until we're all over there. Then we're going to have a look from our top view, 4 for wireframe mode. So we're going to select this and this so we know where our reference is. Okay, let's see, that's selected, that's fine. We're going to go in here. Okay, and that's that one. So we're going to shift select and shift double click and then turn these off. So they're selected at both ends. Hit Control E to extrude, W to pull down, and it's at both ends, that's fine. And now what we can do is bring that down to where we need to be. I'll hit 5 for shaded mode so you can see it. And I'll do X-ray so you can see it even better. Alright, there we go. And then we're going to right click and go to vertex, and we're going to drag select, so not click, drag select, and make sure you get them from both sides like that. Bring that up, bring that up as well. Oops. And take this one. Okay, now we're going to need to do something similar at this end, and then we're going to have a little opening here that we'll need to bridge over later on. Okay, so now we're going to go to this view, and we're going to start, let's say, at this face right here, and move our way up to this face. Okay, so we're going to follow a similar process here. So, and I'll hit 4 for wireframe mode. Actually, that doesn't really help, but okay. So we're going to go in, and I'm going to take this one and double click on that one, and then get that one clicked out, and we'll do that, and then have a check from this view here, so we know where we're at. We're going to go to our top view, which will be one here, and the other one is not that one. That one looks like, yep. We're gonna flip that around. We're gonna select those faces as well. So click, shift click actually, and shift double click, and then we're gonna shift click to turn that off. That one right there, and that one right there. Okay, we're gonna hit Control E to extrude once again. This is gonna be a bit more tricky because it's on a curve. So I just pull that down just slightly, and what we're gonna need to do from here is manually bring them in. Okay, so I'm gonna right click, go to vertex as before. We're gonna drag select. We're going to hit W, and we're going to start to move these to where they need to be. And there's a possibility that we'll have to move and remove until we're happy. But I'm just eyeballing this here. Just this one. And I'll take this and let's tweak that a little bit. That seems to be okay. All right. 5 for shaded mode. Let's have a look. All right. I pulled them in apparently a little bit. That's not good. So let's fix that. A little bit is not bad, but it's a bit too much. So we're gonna hit 4 for wireframe mode, right click on vertex, and let's see what's my best angle to do that. Probably from here, although it will be a you know what to fix that. So let's have a look. 5. Couple of ways to get around that. One is to slightly cheat, which I think I'll do. I'll just take these vertices right here. Hit 4 for wireframe mode so I can see if I got all of them. Looks like, yeah. Hit 5. We're gonna hit our B key again. I'm going to hit R to scale that in, and we're just going to clear that shape. Let's undo that. Just going to have to fix this, guys. Hang on. Looks like I'm going to have to do it manually. So what I need to do is go to this guy, hit Control H to hide it. And what I want is for these vertices that were pulled in to be pulled out again. So right click vertex, and I'll just take these, hit B on my keyboard, hit W and pull that out, and then we'll do the same here. And once they're out, it's easier to bring them back in. Okay, so we're going to go to display and show all. All right, that's actually not too bad. All right, cool. So where were we? We got this opening up here that we need to deal with. So object mode. We're going to right click at a face. Let's hit B to turn that off. Delete that face. And we're going to take that one and delete that. And then we're going to right click at an edge, double click on that entire edge, and shift double click on that one. Go to edit mesh bridge, option box, edit, reset settings, and just hit bridge. Okay, let's do the other side as well. Delete that. Delete that. Right click edge, double click and shift double click, and hit G to repeat last command. Okay, not quite there yet. Just give a little bit more shape to this guy. So what we're going to do is at the front end here, we're going to right click at a vertex. We're going to jump in and drag, select all of these vertices. Okay, we're going to hit B for soft select, and we're just going to hit R to kind of tweak that shape a little bit, just to bring that in slightly, not too much. You can see that the affected area is too big, so while I hold B, I'm going to make that smaller. Just looks a little bit better like that. Okay, cool. So let's see, now that we brought this in here, we seem to be okay. So we got our clip that we need to deal with, and for that we'll take a little polygon, well, not a little one, pretty big one actually. We'll hit R, we'll scale that in, and then we'll hit Control A. We'll go in and we'll tweak the, let's see, the radius to 0.2. We'll hit, come on, we'll zoom in on that guy. Object mode, have to zoom in. Let's see, radius 2, the section radius, that's the one I'm looking for, 0.2. We'll smooth that later, so that's fine. We'll take this, we'll hit W, we'll bring that up and bring that in. Have to zoom in. We're going to hit R, we're going to scale that down quite a lot and bring that in. Just until we roughly know where we're at. It's going to be somewhere around here. Let's have a look at our image. Let's hit E to rotate it, hold down J to snap it. Let's give it a bit more thickness. Let's do 3 on the radius. Let's do, we'll just scale it manually. Hit R, give that some thickness like so. Scale it down. And W to bring that down to about here. And let's have a look. So that's not too bad. Just see here. Let's do 0.6 on that. Maybe even a bit more than that. Let's do 0.8. And then we'll just push that in like so. And we should get close to where we need to be. Yeah, looks all right. Now we need to hit W to bring that in a little bit to something like this. Then we're going to go into this view. we're going to right click at a face, and we're going to drag select these, not these. Actually, let's see, we'll delete those. And I think that looks alright. We're going to right click at object mode, and as we smooth it, it's probably going to jump out. No, it doesn't, so that's good. So we're going to go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth it, and while we're at it, we're going to do the same here. So hit G to smooth that out as well. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, it's time to put in our ring, our split ring. And let's see, we'll take a let's see, create polygons. We'll take a, let me think guys, we'll take a helix. Okay, we'll hit W, we'll pull that out. We're gonna go in, we're gonna do the sections, the coils to 2, maybe even 1. Yeah, 1's fine. Then let's see, the axes we'll do 20 to make it nice and round. 20 there as well. Let's see, we'll do 1 in height. We'll do 0.1 in radius. And now we're getting somewhere, okay? So let's reduce the height a bit more, 0.2. That looks all right. We're gonna first get it roughly into position. So hit E to rotate, like so. We're gonna hit W to move it over here and get close to where we need to be. You can see that's way too big, so we're gonna hit R to kind of scale it down. And let's see, the ring itself should be much bigger. So let's use this as a reference here. Okay, that looks about right. Then let's see what we can do to tweak that. Let's do 0.05 on the thickness. It's a bit better. Size wise, we'll hit R, we'll scale it in slightly. Just want to have a look at where that ring comes together. What we'll do is on height 0.1, maybe even 0.05. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, we're going to go to insert edge loop, and we'll add one in here. No, not multiple. Hang on. Option box. Single setting, we'll do 1 right there, we'll do 1 right here. We're going to hit right click object mode, go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth it. There you go. And then we're going to move that into position. So we're going to hit W, let's move that in until that is fitting. So move that up slightly like so. Then we're going to have to move the pivot point. So we're going to hit the insert key, so we can move that pivot point up to right there. And then from this view, we can hit E to rotate it, and we can rotate that outwards so it looks more natural. So it's leaning against this piece here. That seems to be exactly where we need to be. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our reference image, hit Control H to hide it, and let's have a look at our model here. Let's see how it looks. Doesn't look too bad. A couple of things we need to do. First, I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to hit 1 to unsmooth, so I can see if there's anything I didn't actually smooth yet, and you can see there is. So this guy, mesh and smooth to actually smooth. This guy seems to be okay. Everything else seems to be good. So I'm going to drag select everything, I'm going to go to mesh and combine, like so. Then edit, delete by type, history, modify, freeze transformation, like so. And then it looks like we have a clean model, but not just yet. Select one more time, go to mesh and clean up. And let's see, anything with more than 4 faces, and hit clean up. So we now should have a clean model. Okay, just going to save this out, file and save as. Actually, yeah, we'll just do save scene as. Okay. And grenade, I'll call this new. Okay. All right. So next part is to UV this guy, and then we can go into texturing. Now, considering the shape of this thing, I'm going to do a part of the UV process, not all of it, because it will take way too long. And just so you have an idea, and then we can jump into texturing. Okay. Let's jump into the next video. Here we go.